and welcome to this polite discussion, I'm not going to say debate, about voice search and the future of voice search. My name is Marcus Hemsley, one of the co-founders of Fountain, and I'm going to be discussing my views on voice search, which might be slightly different to my esteemed colleagues.
I'm Amelia, and I'm an SEO consultant here at Fountain.
I'm Danny, and I'm one of the quality and optimisation leads here at Fountain.
So before we decided to sit down and strangely have a camera pointed at us, we came up with some things we wanted to discuss, we may have different views on, and one of them is what the future holds for voice search. So I'm going to hold back my views and start off with you, Danny boy. What do you think the future holds for voice search? Is there a future for it?
I think there is. What that future looks like, I think it's still evolving, as lots of things that we work on are constantly evolving and changing. And I feel like our children, they're probably going to grow up with voice search being an integral part of their lives. Obviously for us over the last 5 years or so, we've all started to have Google Assistants, Alexa, Siri, these things are, if we had our phones on us, I expect all of us would have an assistant of some sort with us. So they're everywhere at the moment, and I know not all of us use them in a useful way. A lot of the time it's just for asking it what the weather looks like, or play some music, or that kind of stuff. So I get from a point of view where at the moment it's probably not something that we have to worry about too much, but I feel like it is. We need to be prepared for it, because I think that there is potential there for moving away from the informational types of searches right now to more transactional types of searches. I can imagine that in the future you'd be able to say, hey Google, order or Alexa or Siri, order me a pepperoni pizza from Domino's, and it would just do it, and you'd get that 20 minutes later. But then I also see the counter argument that for pizzas, you probably want to look at the offerings visually to get your appetite going and work it out that way.
Someone's probably gluten free, someone wants this, someone wants
exactly.
half and half. I appreciate what you're saying. Before I jump in with my maybe slightly different views to Amelia, what's your take? Because you see a slightly different fence about whether there's a future or not. What do you think?
I guess I am on the fence with it. I kind of feel that it is going to get bigger in the future. I think it represents quite a big opportunity to help people who might be visually impaired, or people with disabilities who maybe can't use a device in the same way that other people can. So I think actually there's a lot of scope in that area as well. It quite often gets forgotten.
So the thing I said before we turned the camera on is voice search the next mini disc, right? Is it something that's just, if everyone jumped on it and then it didn't really go anywhere because it got surpassed by something, I don't think we'll be surpassed rather. I'm not sure it'll be exactly surpassed, but I think it's getting to its limits. And what I mean by that is it is very much used for informational searches. I've got both an Alexa and Amazon Home, me as a small sample of one, but I use it for what's the weather, what's the route like to work. I think obviously we're working as a performance marketing agency. I feel a bit awkward pitching, we need to think about voice search to our clients when they're like, make me money now. And my concern about talking about voice search today is that it's a distraction from improving the things that's going to make people money, i.e. conversion rate optimization, perhaps sending more organic traffic through actual normal search, looking at full funnel optimization where those profit people are coming from. In terms of your thing, Danny, about ordering, I guess you can do that already, right? So with Just Eat, you can order your previous. So the thing I perhaps take exception with in the future is Gary Vee did a talk about a year and a half ago, and Gary Vee wants to get some clickbait, so he says the future is voice search, it has to be. And he tells this wonderful story of this family sitting around a table and they book a holiday via Alexa. I think that's bullshit. I really do, because holidays, I want to see it. I want to say, hey, three of us to go on holiday, why don't we go there? Do you like that resort? Do you like that beach? Do you want having this sort of really slow, sort of computerized voice saying, if you go to Marbella, there are 20 degrees Celsius. Kill me now. The other thing about, I'll probably get on it a little bit, is the UX side of it. You know, it interrupts a room. It shouts back at you. And the nice thing about just using screens is it's quite personal. Do you know what I mean? I can look at stuff and you guys don't feel that I'm interrupting you. In some ways that can be rather innocuous. So I think if we can find a way to actually get transactional down, that's fine, but it needs to be driven by consumers, and I can't see people. People are more visual, they need to see shit before they actually buy it. Repeat purchases maybe. You know.
I can see it being really useful for like local directions, so directions to a shop or a restaurant or something like that. It's really useful. But I must admit I do struggle with how to make it commercial.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you're saying, hey, Siri or whatever, looking for restaurants near me. But then presumably, I think with Google at least, with Google Assistant,
it does send you as well.
It takes from the Google My Business, doesn't it? Listings.
Yeah, I think
so. There's not a huge amount to do.
I think if you have the Google Home app as well on your phone, it will also push the listing into that as well. It will tell you where your nearest restaurant is, or the opening times, all that kind of stuff. And I agree. I think that in its current form, there's no real commercial side to it at the moment. But you just never know. I mean, they're embedding. I guess this type of technology. It's not that we're adopting it. It's that it's kind of being forced upon us at the moment.
Yeah.
Like all phones have it. Tablets have it. Cars. Newer cars are having it. Fridges are even having them. TV remotes.
Fridges?
Yeah, fridges. There are connected fridges. So
fridge of that day, man.
Got an old Smeg fridge.
Yeah, I've got Sky Q. I know the remote does it as well. And that's useful, but that's for one.
Yeah, how do you turn that into a?
How do we monetize it for our clients? And our clients, really, what our clients want to do is take market share, and what they're concerned about is next quarter, but also the strategy you're implementing over the next 4 quarters. And my thing is just go back to the core basics, like increase your conversion rate on your website, look at your sales conversion rate for generating leads, look at where the most profitable customers are coming from, attribute them back to current campaigns. I worry it's a big distraction because it sounds sexy in marketers like talking about the next big thing rather than actually looking at making money.
The other thing I struggle with it is there's no data on it, so there's no analytics. You can't go in and see what the traffic's doing, or even if it exists on the site. So it's without data you can't optimise. So it's
I think only recently Google have gave us the ability to be able to track how many people are watching video on a TV.
Yes.
So through YouTube. So I think it's one of those. Google are smart. They're a very successful business.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to invest billions of dollars into voice technology without a plan on how we're going to monetize it. So at the moment it's free, but I imagine they've probably got something in their back pocket to go here. Oh, you want to be the promoted listing for voice search? It's going to cost you this amount. But likewise, just being the top for voice search doesn't necessarily drive more sales or leads.
I think I've got 2 words to kind of counter that argument. I love Google, but Google Plus. Billions into that. I mean, they're trying to take Facebook's lunch now. And that's what I worry about. Is I think you're right. They're going to have some sort of sponsored platform, but really, as we know, because we spend a lot of time with Google, they're very focused on the tech and the cool shiny stuff. But their case studies are generally with their new services and betas are left wanting a little bit. They will pick one vertical which is doing really well. It does very well for this German greengrocer. It's like, look at my portfolio clients. I can't see that being applicable. I think that's the challenge Google are going to have with it, really.
Maybe they'll use it because obviously with Google Home, I've got more experience with Google Home than I do with Alexa. But I imagine with Google Home, obviously it's linked to your personal account. Maybe they're just keeping all of that data, building more of a clearer picture on what you are, what type of person you are, so what music you listen to. What when you wake up in the morning, they've got all of that information. So maybe that would be something that they kind of release in the future. That you've got more detailed targeting options. Maybe I don't know.
I think a lot of people would be very scared by that.
I think so.
Too late for that.
But it does open up a Pandora's box.
It does. Yeah. I mean, Google even had it recently with the Nest product, where they released a Nest alarm that had a microphone inside it. But they didn't on all of the specs for all of it. They didn't disclose that there was actually a microphone inside there.
So you know what it was for?
No, and then they suddenly they released this update that enabled Google Home Assistant on Nest devices, and people were like, oh, what? I didn't realise there was a microphone inside it. So
I mean, there are
I think
obviously, we've thought that, Facebook's a perfect example. We all know that Facebook is listening.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the amount of experiments, we did at the weekends, and it's all anecdotal, so you think, is it just being conspiratorial? But Rebecca and I were literally debating with my uncle whether it's a good idea to get a dog, and literally Facebook feed later on was all about dogs, borrowing dogs, dog walking, I mean, come on, it's too coincidental.
We've tried the same thing as well. I didn't get it to work, but
it's not.
No, I've heard people say that as well. So yeah, I think people are aware of skeptical.
People have done some extreme tests where they said, just something random, I want to learn Uzbekistani or some sort of extreme language, and just talk about it for 2 days, and all of a sudden it just comes up. So it's beautiful. I just think capitalism is about consensual transactions. If you don't like it, then leave Facebook and take your data.
Come off grid.
Well, I just think, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're just going to try and sell you shit. What I mean? I mean, I'm a marketing man, so I don't mind. So, it didn't freak me out that my Facebook was talking about dogs. I thought, thank you for listening, but I'm not interested in taking on your ad. It's my choice. I still retain that power. So I guess that's the other counter, actually. Those people who are nervous about voice search won't want it in their house. There has been an adoption rate, but I don't know what the stats are on the sort of age ranges. But I certainly think my mum certainly wouldn't have it in her house. Rebecca's mum.
But she's probably inadvertently got it on her phone.
Exactly. But that probably doesn't help her. Is that going out and buying that piece? But I guess if the younger generation don't care like me, then it's less of a problem.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So some of the questions we thought we were going to discuss was the limitations and advantages of voice search. I mean, at the minute, advantages is just about ease, isn't it? It's that informational piece. I don't think we're really there with transactions where we can really start pushing as a performance agency. Yeah. And I think you're right, Danny, at some point we need to pay attention. At what point do we? I just feel that if we turn to our clients today and said put X amount into voice search, unless there's a business case for it, and I think bigger SEO agencies that purely focus on that could say actually we're really going to look at location, make sure that we're in the right places for local searches all sorted and make sure that ties in. And I'm sure there's work that some people could be doing. My instinct is that conversion is king at the minute, and that's where you can make the most money. At least amount of input.
I imagine if we could turn back time when we looked at the early days of mobile phones and people going, you're going to be buying you're going to be doing grocery shopping and buying holidays and products on your phone. And maybe for the first couple of years, people are like, no, never, that'll never happen. So maybe this is one of those ones where we can't see it quite yet.
It's so true, because I always feel like you've got technology you can put towards two camps, if you like. You've got your 3D television, your mini discs. And it's just some stuff just doesn't take off, and some stuff really does. When I first saw tablets, I thought, why do you want that? Personally, and then also I started using it. It grew on me, Obviously, the smartphone was absolutely incredible. Google Glass is another one, but then at some point, maybe Google Glass hasn't had its time yet. That's still the next manifestation, because smartphones aren't getting as exciting as they were, sort of petering out. But I don't know, I think the majority of people, I can't remember the sort of the breakout, you've got people who are visual, kinesthetic and auditory. I think auditory people are only maybe 20% that really their primary sense is hearing. But most people like to feel and like to see. So really in the buying experience, kinesthetic people will probably prefer going to shops and touching stuff. Visual
but
people
you
like to see
can
imagery.
use voice search potentially to get people to the shop by giving them the directions. So it can play a role, but I don't think it will be ever what we call a last click. I know it's not click, but you know what I mean. It's not.
And I think where my resistance comes up is last year was the year of everyone was banging on about voice search as if it is as important as if a new Google's being created or a new Facebook platform equivalent. It just isn't, I don't think. I think, like you say, there are bits we can do as marketeers, but it's never going to be the next Facebook or the next sort of. It's not really like a smartphone. And I think people are talking on that level. And Mark Ritson does a brilliant piece on that, saying the marketeers need to stop banging on about VR, AR, blockchain, voice search, this, and just get on with actually executing the campaigns in front of them. It's not as exciting as talking about the new shiny thing. The new shiny thing, it makes it look like you're doing work, but really you're just speculating. Where actually the work in front of you is to execute and make your clients as much money as possible. And there's plenty of room for optimisation within what you're currently doing. It's just not as exciting, which is why marketers don't want to talk about it. Instead, they want to look good by banging on about voice search. That's my bugbear, really.
Yeah.
I think if people gave it, in my opinion, the adequate amount of, this is something to chat about, and it's cool for like, some bits about local location information, maybe ordering a curry for Just Eat, and you get on like that, I'm fine. But it's just like voice search, get on top of it, change the world. And I'm just, I can't see that yet. But I'd love to be proved wrong.
Yeah.
So to get a paid platform, we'll test it, right?
Yeah.
We'll experiment. So that's it. I mean, I think we've pretty much. It hasn't been a really big debate, so I'm sorry to Dan who kind of wanted to get all three of us in a room and just thrash it out. We're all quite nice people, really. But hopefully, you guys who've been watching find it interesting, maybe even useful. And yeah. Cheers for tuning in.